Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my kitchen. You guys, today is my birthday, best day ever. Let me just reply to a few birthday messages and then we'll get this party started. I suddenly don't feel like partying anymore. It sucks to be born on 9/11. It's one of the best days to celebrate on. But unfortunately, there are those of us who really are born on this day and we gotta make the best out of it. I know a lot of people aren't feeling very celebratory on this day, but you can't change your birthday, man. We were born on this day, so at least we can do is have some birthday cake, right? But what if we don't want the high sugar and high fat content? So today in the lowest calorie kitchen, we're making an anabolic low calorie version of birthday cake, man. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, first things first, we're gonna need our food scale to measure everything out. Then we're gonna need a bowl to place our ingredients in. We zero it out. Then we'll start with the cake base. Now we're gonna have to make 2 cake layers. I only have 1 baking pan that's suitable for this, so I'm making the layers separately. These are the ingredients for 1 cake layer. If you have 2 identical pans and you can bake 2 layers at a time, then double up the ingredients I'm showing here. If you only have 1 8-inch pan like me, then make them 1 at a time. So I'm just making 1 layer now and I'll be making another one after this first one. So for 1 layer of the cake, we're starting out with 50 grams of whey protein powder, vanilla flavored. I'm using my protein whey. Whey usually doesn't need to be sifted, but the next ingredients do, especially the coconut flour. Next we'll be adding 25 grams of coconut flour, 50 grams of white flour. Next we're gonna need 5 grams of baking powder and 15 grams of powdered erythritol. This is the equivalent of Swerve confectioner sugar. 15 grams. And the last dry ingredient, 1 gram of table salt. I'm using the pink Himalayan, but who gives a damn, it's just salt. That should be about right. I'm eyeballing it, the scale won't pick up a gram of salt. That's it for the dry ingredients. Now it's time to mix them up a bit and then we can mix in the wet ingredients. Just give this a quick shake. And that's the coconut flour. Damn, that thing really clumps up like crazy. Now, using a whisk, we'll have to mix this really well, especially to get that baking powder incorporated really good. I know it doesn't look like it's doing anything, just mixing dry powder around, but trust me, it does. Alright, now we can add our wet ingredients. And we'll start with 150 grams of egg whites. Next, we'll be adding 75 grams of skimmed milk, 60 grams of unsweetened applesauce, and 60 grams of 0-calorie vanilla syrup. This is my homemade one, of course. Now we'll just give this a good mixeroo. Start slowly. This will be a rather liquid batter, but we need it like this to have enough moisture in our cake. And our last ingredient, because this is a birthday cake, we're gonna be adding some colored sprinkles, man, 15 grams. And be careful with the brand of sprinkles. I've tested 6 different brands of sprinkles and this was the only brand that actually worked. It's the only brand that didn't seep into the batter, that remained visible through the cake layer. For all the other brands, either the color was lost completely or it was absorbed by the batter, by the cake, and I just had like an oddly colored bluish cake. So this is the only brand of sprinkles that worked for me that provides that colorful effect. So you will need to find a brand of sprinkles that work for you and do not seep into the cake batter, into the cake layer. Now we'll just take our 9-inch pan, give it the old non-stick treatment. Using a spatula, we're gonna pour everything in. And again, this is just one layer. If you don't have two identical pans, then make it exactly as I have. If you have two identical pans, then double up the ingredients and bake them both at the same time. So with the oven preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius, we're gonna bake this for 25 minutes. So while our cake bases are baking, we're gonna be making the cream in between the layers. So we're gonna start by adding 150 grams of zero-fat Greek yogurt. Next, we're gonna add 400 grams of cream cheese or low moisture cottage cheese. Now, in order to thicken this up, we're gonna be adding 25 grams of vanilla flavored casein powder, and that's the last of my casein. Hopefully I have 25 grams here. And that's 26, but it doesn't matter. You will need to adjust the quantity of casein to the moisture of your cheese. You could need more, you could need less, depending on how thick or how soft you want your cream to be. So this is not a fixed measurement. You need to adjust this based on your own requirements. For sweetness, we're gonna be adding 15 grams of powdered erythritol. And that's 16, but who cares? It's my birthday, I make the rules. And we want a bit of butter taste in there, so we're gonna be adding 3 grams of butter extract. It will cover a bit of that cheese taste. And optional, if you want a bit more vanilla flavor than what the casein provides, you can add like 2 grams of vanilla extract. Now, using a whisk, we're gonna start mixing it up slowly. But this always works better with a hand mixer. So this is the attachment of my immersion blender. So I'll be using that to get this properly blended, because by hand it will take a while. And that is that. As you can see, it is rather thick. That is our cream. So we'll be setting this aside in the fridge while our cake layers are baking, and while they are completely cooled down. We should let the cake layers cool down completely before we can assemble the cake. In the meantime, I'm gonna whip up one portion of my whipped cream. So that's 200 grams of whipped cream, because we'll be adding whipped cream on top. So if you're looking for something to do in the meantime, whip up 200 grams of whipped cream. And we'll be back once everything is properly cooled down to assemble the cake. Okay, so our 2 cake layers have cooled off. In the meantime, I've whipped up 200 grams of the lightest whipped cream I can find, because we're gonna top this off with whipped cream. But first, I'm gonna be using an optional step of making the cake base even more moist, because I like things really moist.
That's what she said!
What I have here is just water, a drop of vanilla extract, and a bit of sweetener. I'm just gonna add a few spoonfuls of this very liquid syrup and just hydrate this cake base. I'll be doing this to both cake bases actually. I like my cakes really moist, and it's my birthday, so there's no reason for me not to do it how I like it. We're gonna remove the cooling rack. So this is our cake base. We'll get our cream from the fridge and start adding the cream to the cake. Just be adding it in the middle like that, because we're gonna be pressing down with the other layer. Just put the second layer on top and gently press down, shake it a bit so that the cream can be evenly distributed, and we can even it out like so. Once we have our cream in between the layers, it's time to get some whipped cream. I'm gonna get just part of it because I'm gonna leave some for decoration, and we'll just cover this entirely. Try to get it as even as possible. And I'll continue to play around with this cake and with the decoration, and here is the final result. And here we are, guys, we finally get to test our creation. Just one more step here. It is my birthday after all. So I'd say we have a pretty big win here. It looks like a birthday cake. It smells like a birthday cake. We have a shit ton of sprinkles. There's a sprinkle explosion going on there. But looks don't count for much if the calories and macros are not good. So here are the calories and macros for the entire cake. And here are the calories and macros for one slice, which is 1/6 this time. We're just splitting this into 6 pieces, not in 4 as usual, because even though it's our birthday, we have to share this with our guests. So this makes 6 servings, not 4. But even so, it is really a hefty slice. 1/6 of this cake is no joke. So let's just make a wish, blow out the candle, and give it a good taste test. Fucking candle. That'll activate the smoke detector. Okay, we're safe. Taste test time. Definitely tastes like a cake, man. Mission accomplished. It's good, it's moist, it's creamy. You can feel the flavor separately. You can feel the crunchiness from the sprinkles. You can feel the buttery cream cheese because we added butter extract. You have the moist layers of cake. You have the whipped cream on top. That makes for a pretty good cake. And with the added moisture from the watery syrup I used to add moisture to the cake layers, it's even more syrupy. You won't have trouble getting this down, you know. That is a good cake, man. So give this a try, guys. Try this recipe out, even if it's not your birthday. Maybe it's your friend's birthday. So guys, make this experiment. Next time you have your friends over and serve some cake, make this cake and don't tell them it's an anabolic cake. See if they notice. See if any of them will have anything to say or anything that can make them think this is not the real deal. Because from my point of view, this is at least a 9 on 10. So give this a try and hit me up in the comment section below and let me know how it went for you. So if you like this type of content, if you like cakes, if you like desserts, if you like anabolic recipes, then give this video a big like. Like that video, hit that big thumbs up button below. And hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon so you get notified every time I put out a new awesome recipe such as this one. Let me know in the comment section if you made this cake, if it turned out amazing. Hit me up on Instagram, tag me, and always remember, you can do it. Everyone can. No exceptions.